This is one that I had acquired actually on vinyl from a friend of mine not too awful long ago, and to be honest, I really wasn't completely knowing who they were until the last few days and a couple of years or so when I first received that vinyl. But one of the first things I discovered about this that I did not know at the time is that this lead singer here, his name is Ron Salsbury. He actually is I should say, he actually just passed away not too awful long ago. Was a pastor for a long time in the Church of the Nazarene, which just happens to be the denomination that I attend right now. And I did not realize that. And he'd served on, I think, churches in Los Angeles, the First Church of the Nazarene right there in Los Angeles, California. Most recently was at a church in California. I want to say like Pismo Beach, I believe, area toward California for a number of years until he passed away, I believe, in 2016, unfortunately, from cancer.
Especially when somebody can do so much with the gift that they're given.
Right. And I understand this started way back in the 70s, and this is one of the first bands that was signed with Myrrh Records when they started the what was then known as Jesus Music label back in 72. So they were one of the first handful of artists that was part of that, and I was also surprised to find out that he also did some things with Larry Norman previous to 72, and got with them again once this group disbanded. He became a artist on the Larry Norman's record label with one of the guys from this group, and became like a duo artist at that point. I'm trying to think of the fellow's name that he did that with as far as a duo is concerned. I want to say it's I had it in my notes here somewhere. I think it's John Paterno or Pantanio. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but they were a duet also in the 70s, probably around 77, I understand. So they did a couple records with them, and then the original was this Ron Salsbury and the JC Power Outlet from this time period. They have two only albums out that came, which was 1972, 1974, respectively. The song we're going to hear today is called I Choose Christ. And this one I picked especially because you talked about it before, and then I did notice it was used on a couple different compilation vinyls that came out around that same time on Myrrh Records, so some people might remember this from those sampler records that came out back at that point too. It's, once again, a song with very honest lyrics like we've talked about before in this genre of music and this kind of beginning stages of what we now know as CCM, where it's just honesty before God, honesty before others, that we choose Christ, and it's the best decision we can always make. And the song talks a little bit about that as well.
Kind of wish that was still the norm today. That the lyrics were, I mean, not that the lyrics have gone wrong direction, they were so honest back then. You didn't have to sit there and guess what they were talking about.
True, that's true. Another thing I thought was interesting about this one is that a lot of the things I read in the last couple of days are kind of touting this as one of the first Christian rock bands. Because this was even before Petra, before Resband, before yeah, around the same time, but a little bit before that, as far as being well known, I guess is the main thing there.
You know, speaking of that, either you or David are going to have to make sure that I can get a hold of some Resband music, because I haven't played any Resband since this program started over a year ago.
Ah.
That would be interesting.
Have
you ever seen them? Because you live near Chicago. You're not in Chicago, but you live near Chicago. Have you ever seen them?
I'm closer to Chicago than you are, but I'm still probably about 4 hours south, actually. But no, I've never seen them in concert. I know they've been around for a while, and I don't even know if they're still around today. But they sure had quite a huge following back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think Resband. I don't think it's still together. I know the Gun Kaiser had gone off and had been playing some Christian with blues. That blues style was really good music. And, played some of the Terrell Mansfield things. I don't know what he's still playing. Yeah, question: you're talking your feature CCM is Christian or contemporary Christian music flashback, and we're going back into the 70s. As far back as Larry Norman in 1969. Do you think that they really had to persevere back then because it was kind of the beginning, the dawn of contemporary Christian music, and maybe it wasn't really well accepted?
Oh, I would sure think so. I mean, I still hear stories nowadays about kind of gasps in the congregation, that kind of thing, when you bring an electric guitar on stage or a drum kit or something like that. That was really not too happily accepted back in the 70s, and I think over the years, of course, it's been more acceptable. Now we've got praise bands, and you've got different instruments that appear on stage even during a Sunday morning service. But back then, I don't think it was really that well received to have that kind of instrument on the stage, or that kind of groove, I guess you might call it, as far as the music is concerned. And it's interesting that now, today in 2018, we've kind of swung the other direction, where now it's kind of strange to hear just a piano on stage, or just a guitar, or just a song that's slow, to be honest with you. But it's kind of interesting how things change over time.
Well, that's true. So why don't you introduce this song, and then we'll start playing the song. Well, let me say, first of all, I love this feature. And I can't wait to hear from you again next week.
Yeah, it's been interesting to learn some of these myself. Like I said, I've collected these for a while and just never had a chance to kind of focus on one artist at a time like we've had a chance to do this on Sunday mornings here. So it's been interesting for me as well. I also wanted to say about this particular cut we're going to hear. This is off their second release called Forgiven. And another interesting thing about this one is that on their first album, I think I understand it was just studio musicians playing, where on this second release called Forgiven, they got to play their own instruments with their own people, so there's a little difference there as well. But this is a song that some might remember from the samplers I talked about earlier, the various artists' LPs that came out. I believe one was called Jubilation, the other one was called Love, Peace, and Joy, and this is a song called I Choose to Follow You, from Ron Salsbury and the JC Power Outlet from 1974.
Excellent. Well, Stephen, thank you so much.
Anytime.
All right, we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds great, Doug. Thanks so much.
Some friends may choose to criticize. I'll be a fool in some men's eyes, but still I choose to follow you. Though some people may say I've lost my mind, but I want so much to find a joy to last my whole life through. So I choose to follow you. For so long my heart has been without the kind of faith that ends the doubt, but my faith in time will grow. In your love I know I don't care what some people say, though my friends all turn away. that some will laugh at me, but I pray that my friends see you, Lord, and choose to follow you. I know when doubt and troubles come, I know that I won't turn and run, 'cause you'll be there to help me through. So I choose to follow you. I choose to follow you. I choose to follow you. About the change that's come over me ever since I accepted the man from Galilee. Well, how can I explain something that I've never known before? It's like walking in the sunshine after a cold, dreary morn. I've got that satisfied feeling down in my soul, yeah. Satisfied feeling down in my soul. I've got that satisfied feeling down in my soul. Satisfied feeling down in my soul, alright, yeah. Well, the joy of the Lord was so wonderful. I wanted a little bit more. So I got down on my knees and I lifted my hand and I began to praise the Lord. Something started moving way down in the bottom of my soul. Right then and there, you know, the Lord filled me with the Holy Ghost. I got that satisfied feeling down in my soul. Oh yeah, satisfied feeling down in my soul. I've got that satisfied feeling down in my soul. Yeah, satisfied feeling down in my soul. Alright, yeah. Woo! something that's never happened before. It's like walking in the sunshine after a cold and weary day. Yeah, yeah. Satisfied feeling down in my soul, yeah. Satisfied feeling down in my soul. I got that satisfied feeling down in my soul, oh yeah. Satisfied feeling down in my soul, alright.